Exercise with oxygen therapy. This is a homemade device. That's an oxygen generator which is filled up two inflatable mattresses glued together and suspended from the ceiling with pure oxygen. I'm just switching on the taps now to allow the oxygen to go from the inflated mattresses into the white springy tubing. The white springy tubing ends with a gas mask, a World War II gas mask, which allows you to breathe in through one valve and exhale through another valve. So the valve for the inhaling, where the oxygen comes in, is connected to the white tube, and the exhaling exit is just straight into the room air. So I'm on a mini trampoline. It's sometimes called a rebounder, and basically I built this from a kit. It costs about £75, the trampoline, and it's got a handlebar that you can hold on to stop yourself from falling off and keeping yourself completely stable. The good thing about a rebounder, a trampoline like this, is that you'll notice my feet, when I'm bouncing, my feet will leave the trampoline, which means I'm in free fall and in mid-air just falling. At that point there's zero gravity on all of my organs inside my body, so they're free falling like in space in a orbiting the Earth, and so they will just lift up. And then when my feet are lowest on the trampoline, it is accelerating me upwards as well as gravity, and so I've actually got 2g of acceleration in a direction upwards, and that provides a force again on all my internal organs like my stomach and my pancreas, intestines, kidneys. And the advantage of that kind of exercise, the bouncing exercise, is that all of your organs, which have got usually just fluid around them, not blood but fluid, it's called lymph, and all the movement will cause that lymph to travel back to the blood through the lymph nodes, and for fresh fluid to come out of your capillaries to replace it. So I've got a nice flow of oxygenated clear lymph fluid surrounding all my organs and being flushed. So all the stagnant areas that could be low oxygen or could be high acidity, all of that fluid will be replaced with new fluid from my capillaries and my blood, which has got a very nicely defined alkalinity of 7.5. And at that alkalinity of 7.5, all my immune cells are very happy with that particular acidity or alkalinity, and so they will work very well in that 7.5 pH. Now if I did have a cancer, which I don't have, again the fluid around that cancer will actually be quite acidic, because the cancer excretes acids from itself, and those acids just build up around the tumour, and it protects the tumour from my immune system, because when my immune cells get there to eat the tumour, they find themselves in an acidic solution, and they don't work very well. None of their enzymes work properly, and so they have great trouble attacking the tumour. So this particular exercise, which gets all your lymphatic fluids moving, actually greatly increases your immune system's response to the cancer. So it's good for your immune system and bad or neutral for the cancer. Now the other thing is the oxygen. So I'm breathing pure oxygen whilst I'm doing this, and this greatly increases the amount of oxygen in my fluid. Again, cancer cells don't particularly need oxygen. they work by fermenting sugar, and they're perfectly happy to have what we call a low oxygen environment, which is a hypoxic environment. They work perfectly well in that. They don't really care whether they've got oxygen or not. However, the rest of your body, your immune cells and things like that, would probably quite prefer to have some oxygen to give them energy. So by having this extra oxygen, you're not helping the tumour cells, and in fact you're increasing the oxygen in the tumour environment, which helps all your immune cells if they've gone there to fight the cancer, and doesn't help the cancer cells. So again, you're giving yourself an advantage against the cancer by supplying all of this oxygen. It's a little known fact that cancer cells thrive in hypoxic conditions, which means low oxygen conditions. They also thrive in areas where there's inflammation. So anything you can do to get rid of inflammation and increase the oxygen and increase the alkalinity, the pH, of the environment helps you and doesn't help cancer. So this is perfect therapy for cancer. You'll see me do all sorts of weird movements to twist my body, and again that's to get maximum possible exchange of lymphatic fluid around my organs. I want to twist my intestines and twist my pancreas to move it slightly so that any fluid that's around it will move out and get changed with new fluid, fresh fluid, which is not so acidic. So you'll see me twisting, trying to use different muscles. Yeah, so you'll see the bag. The bag's getting a bit looser now. It was fully inflated. And this whole exercise session will last about 13 minutes. After 13 minutes, the bag has sort of lost all of its store of oxygen and is collapsed, and that will stop me being able to breathe through the mask, so I will have to stop at that point and take the mask off. So you can see that the pressure inside the bag has gone down. But the good thing is I am actually doing quite a lot of exercise here, and I'm sweating and using lots of muscles. But because I'm breathing pure oxygen, I don't have any oxygen difficulties or difficulties breathing. It's all really, really very good. So although I'm hot and sweaty, I'm actually very, very comfortable doing the exercise, and I can do the full 13 minutes. If I don't have the oxygen mask on and I'm breathing just normal air, I'll actually get tired in about 4 minutes and want to stop. But with the pure oxygen, you can keep going. Going for 13 minutes continuously is not a problem. Even someone like me who's 66, and I'd be a little bit unhappy, running for 13 minutes continuously, but I'm happy to do this whilst I'm breathing pure oxygen. So this is better than, I believe this is better than hyperbaric oxygen therapy. In hyperbaric oxygen therapy, yes, you may be getting perhaps twice as much oxygen concentration in the fluid. However, it's not being delivered as fast because your heart isn't beating very fast, whereas my heart here will be, because of the exercise, will be beating a bit faster. So I'm getting more fluid. I believe I'm getting more oxygen to the cancer tissues and the cancer environment using this than I would be with hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Because in hyperbaric oxygen therapy, you're in a small chamber, you can't do any exercise. You just sit there quite passively. Again, all the lymphatic fluid isn't moving, and so it's not getting changed with oxygenated lymphatic fluid. So really, I think exercise with oxygen therapy is the only way to get good oxygen treatment, especially if you're interested in improving the pH of the fluids around your internal organs, or anywhere where you may have a tumour. So yeah, this is the best way, and I believe bouncing up and down on a trampoline is the best exercise to do, rather than, for example, cycling on a bicycle or on a rowing machine or something like that. Because I think this bouncing around, again, is zero gravity and twice gravity, alternating every second, and I think that causes all of your internal organs to bounce up and down, which gives the maximum amount of lymphatic fluid turnover, in addition to your high blood turnover, which is happening because your heart's beating faster. So I think this is the ideal treatment for all cancers, and especially something involving your internal organs like digestive cancer, stomach cancer, pancreatic cancer. But really, any cancer is going to be addressed by this kind of exercise with oxygen therapy. Yeah, okay, so you've only got a small supply of oxygen, so it only lasts for 13 minutes. You could go longer if you made a bigger bag to store the oxygen in. But it's very economical. I mean, the trampoline was £75. The inflatable mattresses, I think, were about £20 each, so that's £40 for the mattresses. And then there's the rest of it, tubing, and that costs probably £10–20. And the gas mask, that cost me £50. It's not ideal, a gas mask, and it's probably a little bit too oppressive, because it's covering my eyes and everything, even though it all works fine. And probably you should see if you could get a smaller mask that just does your nose and mouth, because you don't need anything of your eyes. But this system works fine. I'm happy with it. If I were to do it again, I'd probably have some larger pipes going into the mattresses, because at the moment I've only got small tubes and small taps actually going into the mattresses, so that does limit the rate at which you can suck oxygen out of the bag. Although it's fine, it's enough, but it could be even easier. So yeah, I just have larger taps basically going into the bags. I've no issues whatsoever with it. But there you go. So twisting my body, alternating legs, trying to use as many muscles as I can. Yeah, having zero gravity for longer by jumping up higher. So what we're maybe 14 minutes into the video at the moment, and I'm just checking the bag and showing you, the bag's pretty much empty here. So I'm probably going to stop. So just take the mask off. Whew. I am hot and sweaty, but with the pure oxygen, not at all breathless. I'm just very happy with that. So I'm going to turn off the small taps again that were connecting the oxygen in the bag to the other pipes, just so that the oxygen that's still in the bags doesn't leak out and disappear. So yeah, turn all the taps off, and I'm done. I can leave the oxygen machine running to pump it up again. It'll probably take 5 hours to inflate those again.